it's not required to report near misses as it is incidents, right?
Right.
So why should organizations try and do it anyway?
Yeah, I think it's looking at it from the standpoint of, I like to use the analogy of looking down and realizing your shoes are untied, but and actually taking the 5 seconds it takes to tie your shoes before you trip and fall. And
Okay, that's a good
it's
analogy.
very easily prevented, but it's one of those things that because oftentimes they don't have to be reported, people don't. And so it really does come down to leadership, comes down to management to try to build that safety culture and start rewarding these people, start really keeping track of those near misses and those observations.
Right. So, I mean, in your experience from what you've seen us talking to a lot of different clients, a lot of prospects, what's standing in the way of reporting near misses? How do you think it could be, more of a common practice?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, it comes down to just, quite frankly, a lot of times they don't have to. So
Right.
people don't want to do things they don't have to. And because of that, there's often this preconceived notion that it's going to take more time than it really does and will prevent them from, producing more or from doing their work when in actuality, it's that 5 seconds to tie your shoes instead of having a fall and tripping over your shoelaces. And so one of the biggest ways that we try to instill that safety culture and instill that proactive environment is really show these clients how simple and effective it can be. So when you're looking at something to help increase the efficiency and help streamline things, we're not talking about filling out pages and pages of reports that actually do take away from production. We're talking about
Right.
something as simple as maybe it's one click, maybe it's a yes or no question, and so it's really trying to get in the mindset of like starting small and realize, okay, this actually just took a few seconds, a minute to have some pretty serious impacts on the organization.
Absolutely. So, talking a little bit about the simplicity aspect of it, can you walk us through what reporting a near miss would look like with the Frontline app and about how much time it would take, what that would entail a little bit?
Yeah, so there's several different ways we can do that. One thing we've tried to make really easy is our form builder. And so when you're talking about simple drag and drop to create any form that you might need, and again, it's really dependent on their client's needs.
Right.
One thing we see be really beneficial for a lot of the clients that I work with is the ability to not only do it from desktop. A lot of people aren't behind a computer, but all day where they can actually go in on their phone or on a tablet, out in the middle of the field somewhere in the middle of nowhere and report a near miss when it happens. And part of that too is knowing that near misses might vary, in severity, and they might vary in the amount of detail that's needed. So being able to, use some of the templates that we have out of the box ready to go and either change or edit those to make it, more suited for that specific scenario or those specific needs, or creating a brand new one from scratch, that someone could do, in a matter of minutes and just getting the information that's going to be critical and not feeling a sense of overwhelm to having to input all of that information or design a new form when it's needed.
Right. And then what about what happens afterwards? So tasks, training that needs to be assigned, new information on any equipment or things like that. How does Frontline help simplify that process as well?
Yeah, so there's a lot of different ways that we can kind of help simplify that process. You look at the data, data is everything. And so when you go back and run reports and figure out why all these near misses happen or what resulted them,
Mhm.
maybe that's a direct result of training or lack thereof. So maybe we issue out a new training associated with that, or requires new SOPs that people need to sign off of. Really being able to look at it from the reporting standpoint, and again trying to create that proactive, safe environment that people are taking responsibility and really putting in those steps to ensure a better work environment. And that could be a corrective action. It could be new a speed that needs to go out. It could be a new training. You name it. So there's a lot of different ways that people can utilize what happens after to create that environment. And then going one step further and completely taking it off of their plate. So
Right.
one of the things that we hear all the time is, okay, we filled out a form, but what happens next? Then there's that tracking down people, making sure everyone sees it, those emails, those manual follow-up. So the more we can just automate that entire process, again, the more likely that those employees are actually going to fill it out, because once they complete it, it's done. You ensure it goes to the people who need to get eyes on it.